everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Sima Gold. So today we're making this beautiful padded blouse and with a cape and beaded. So I'll be teaching us from cutting and to sewing. But this is the part one of the video on cutting this blouse, while the part two has the sewing details. So enjoy if this is what you're looking out for. Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Sima Gold. So today we are going to be making the beautiful gown the beautiful top that we saw before this video. Please kindly like, share and subscribe. If this is your first time, please kindly subscribe to my channel. So we are going to be having our front on fold. I'm going to be cutting a full front and a full back for this style. So we'll go straight ahead. The shoulder we are working with is 18. That is divided by 2 gives me 9. I'll give my shoulder slope, which is 1. My armhole depth, which is my bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, is 8.5. Then I will insert my shoulder measurement here so I can have a straight line for my armhole. The next thing I'll do is to insert my bust measurement. My bust measurement is 42. 42 divided by 4 gives me 10.5. So this is 10.5. Then I'll insert my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 35. 35 divided by 4 gives me 8.75. So I'll insert 8.75 and then I'll connect. Then I'll come to my center front and I'll pick up my dart. My bust point to bust point is 4.5. So I'll insert that from the center front. Then take my dart intake half inch here, half inch here, making it a total of 1 inch. This total of 1 inch here, I'm going to replace it at this side. So this is 1 inch here. Then I'll connect it back. So this one doesn't count anymore. The next thing I'll do is to mark my shoulder to bust point. My shoulder to bust point is 11 inches. And my shoulder to under bust is 14.5. And so I'll connect it. And I'll connect it. Then this my dart. I'm going to start from the bust point, connect it straight, and connect it straight. Then I'll come to my middle of the armhole, which is 8.5. I'll mark 4.2. I'll go in by half. I'll connect it from this shoulder slope, connect it straight to my bust or chest line measurement. Then I'll talk about the under bust tightening. So I had to add to the length of this paper because this is a full blouse actually. So I will come to the bust tightening for the under bust now. On this part, I'll go in by half of an inch on the under bust. On this part, I'll go in by 1.5. And then I'll connect this one to this. Then I'll come down by 1.5 here. And I'll connect this part to the bust point and then connect it to this part. Then this 1.5 inches that I brought came down by here, I'm going to replace it from at this point and blend it in. After blending it in, I would mark my blouse length. I'm working with a blouse length of 26 inches. So from the shoulder, I'll mark my blouse length of 26 inches and I'll connect it. After connecting it, I would measure my hip measurement. My hip is 45 divided by 4 gives me 11.25. So this is 11.25. I'm going to mark and connect it. Then my bust dart, which is 4.5, I'm going to extend it to this point and to this point. Then at the hemming part, I'll come up by 1 or 1.5 inches, and then connect this under bust dart straight there and straight there. Now you can do this way, or you can connect it straight down and straight down. So for the sake of this style that we are doing, I'm going to be connecting it straight down and straight down. So after doing this, I'm going to use my tracing wheel to trace this whole thing out so that it will show at the other part of this, and I'll use my marker to mark it out. Then we can continue. So this is my tracing wheel. I will just use it to trace this. So having traced it, this is what I have. So the next thing I'll be doing is to do my bust tightening for the front. The bust tightening is 1 inch, and how I came about the 1 inch is shoulder to waist front is 18.5, shoulder to waist back is 17.5. 18.5 minus 17.5 gives me 1 inch. So this is the 1 inch I marked from here, the bust line, and I came down like this. I connected it and I connected it. Then after that, I'm going to measure out the dart that was taken out of here. This is 2.5, and I'll replace it at the hip measurement part. 2.5 and 2.5. Then I'll connect it back from the waistline. I'll connect it back. Now for the waist, for the shaping of the blouse, I'll come upward by 2 inches. I'll come upward by 2 inches, and I'll connect it to where this dart line starts, or you can go inward by 1 inch and connect it in a curvy way. I'll do the same thing here. This is the 2 inches I went up by. Then immediately after this dart, I'll go inward by 1 and blend it into these 2 inches. Next, we are going to be looking at is the shaping of the blouse, the design at the mouth of the blouse. So if we look at the picture very well, we'll see that it came downward like this, connected like this. What I will do now, I would come downward at this side by extra 5 inches. Then at the hemming down part of the main blouse, I would go inward here by 1 inch, and I'll connect from the waistline. I'll connect it like this, or you can come down by 1 inch from the waistline. Let me come down by 1 inch from the waistline, and I'll connect. Then this one, I'm going to go inward by 1 inch too at the hemming part by this side, and I'll connect. After connecting, I would now take this and connect like this. Let me run over it again. At the hemming part of this blouse, I went in by 1 inch. From the waist part, I came down by 1 inch and I connected. From the blouse length itself, I came downward by extra 5. So I connected from here to this 1 inch and to this point. If you want, you can actually still extend it depending on how pointy you want here to be. Now for this one, at the hemming part, I went in by 1, then came down from the waist by 1, then blend it in. All the meeting point for this blouse will be 1 inch below the waist. So after doing this, we'll go to the neck. If you notice, from beginning I didn't do anything to the neck apart from the shoulder slope of 1 inch that I marked. Now this is my center front. I'm just going to mark the shoulder slope that way. Now for the neck, at this side, I would go inward by 3.5. I'll come down by 4. At this side, I would mark say 2.5, and I'll come downward by at least 5 inches. Then I'll connect here, then connect here. So it depends on you. You can still come downward more and just connect. It all depends on what you want to achieve at the end of the day. So after doing this, we'll go ahead to cut now. Then we'll talk about drafting the back. So first thing first, I'll come to this down part. Then for this waist part, I'll cut, then I'll cut it. Then remember we went up by 2 inches. So from here, I'll go up by that 2 inches. Then I would now come out toward a little by extra 1 inch to give it that pointy shape at the side. I'll still do the same thing at the other side, but when I get there, then I'll blend it into my waist measurements. Then I'll fold my bust tightening. So this side is ready. You can label it side front 2. Why this will be side front 1, this will be center front. Now for the center front, what I will do is to cut from here. I'll close up this dart. I'll close up this dart and I'll cut. And then I'll cut this one out. Remember the 1 inch we did at this side, I'll do the same 1 inch here, and I'll blend it into the waist. Then I'll fold my bust dart again. So this is what I'm left with. I'll cut this. So like this, the front of this blouse is ready. Before we talk about the cutting of the cape, let's go to the back and draft our back to this extent too. Okay, so this is the pattern for the back, and the blouse length for the back is 25. The blouse length for the front is 26. Now why the back is 25 is because the shoulder to waist for the back is 17. while the shoulder to waist for the front is 18. So the back is shortened by extra by just 1 inch. So what I will do now is to mark my shoulder measurement, which is 9 inches. I will do my shoulder slope of 1 inch. I would come down by 8.5 inches for the armhole depth, and after that I'll mark my shoulder measurement of 9 inches and I'll connect. After connecting, I'll mark my shoulder to waist, which is 17 inches for the back. And this is my blouse length. So after doing that, the only thing I need to do for this now is to insert my measurement. For my measurement for the bust, I have 42, which is 10.5. My waist measurement is 35 divided by 4, give me 8.75. That 8.75, I'm going to be doing a back tightening of 1 inch. That makes it 9.75 plus 1 inch that intake I will take, that's 10.75. So I'll just mark 10.75 here. Now for the hip measurement, I'm working with hip 45. Hip 45 divided by 4 will give me 11.25. 11.25 plus extra 1 inch that I added at the front for the design of the hemming part, that is 12.25. So I'm going to be marking 12.25. So I'll connect this and I'll connect this. Then at the hemming part of the front, I came up by 2 inches. So I'll come up by 2 inches at the hemming part of the back. Then I'll come to my waist at the back. I'll mark 5 inches for the dart. I'll mark 5 inches for the dart. And I'll mark 5 inches for the dart. So this is it. At the back tightening, I'll go inward at the waist part by 1 inch. I'll come upward by 1 inch at the hemming part and connect this back tightening there. The next thing I'll do is to still connect this back tightening from up down like this. Then I'll insert ½ inch on both sides of this, come up by half of an inch, and then connect my darts. So having done all of this, like I did on the front, I'm going to use my tracing wheel. But before that, sorry, let me fix in my armhole measurement. My armhole depth is 8.4 divided by 2 gives me 4.2. I will come inward by 0.25. I'll connect this and then I'll connect this. Then convert to princess armhole. I'll just connect this like this and then blend back into the armhole. I came up by at least half or 1 inch depending on you. So the next thing I'll do is to use my tracing wheel to trace this whole thing out. So I've traced it, but I remember that I've not curved this part. So all I need to do is to come inward by 1 and blend it into these 2 inches. Then I'll trace it. So after tracing, I would open and follow all the lines that was traced. I will just follow all the lines that was traced. So I finished tracing and I want the back and the front neckline to be the same thing. So I'll place my center front directly on my back. Please, whatever you do, try as much as possible to make it straight at your back. This is your center back. It will help you when you want to fix your zip. So all I'll do from here that is straight now, I would connect it here. Then here I'll connect it down to this place. Please, here should be at least a little bit straight so that you will not find it difficult when you want to fix your zip. Then I'll follow the shape for the back too. So that being done, our pattern is ready for the back, and then we'll cut. I'll start from my center back. I'll cut out my back tightening. Now for the back, if you feel you want it to be more deeper, I feel I should make it more deeper. So all I'll need to do from here, I'll determine how deep I want it to be. So let's say I'm coming down by extra 1 inch. So I'll blend from here, from this tip like this, go inward. Please make sure that here is at least a bit straight, sorry. Then I'll blend like this. So this is what I would have now. So this is the back, and I'll cut out the other parts. So our back pattern is ready, and our front pattern is ready too. So the next thing we are going to do is to start cutting on the fabric. Now when cutting on your fabric, there are certain things to note. You're going to cut this on the back part of your print, meaning that you'll be cutting this on the back to not make mistake, because when cutting a symmetric neck, there are some mistakes. You're going to be cutting this one on top of the front part of your print. So your fabric must be on the back. When you are cutting this, you're going to place it directly on the back of the print, and this one directly on the front of the print. That will save you from making some mistakes. So let's go ahead to cut. So we have our fabric now. This is the front of the print we are using, and this is the front pattern. So what I'll do is to place this, like I said, this will be on top of the front part of the fabric to help us cut rightly. And then we'll just cut. Now what's going to happen is that at this point, this part, I'm going to cut out this upper part, this sleeve part. I'm going to cut it out and keep it aside. I'm going to cut this and keep it aside. Then please label it. You can say this is the neck part, this is the armhole part, this is the shoulder part, and this is the down part, and this is the front one. And we continue cutting. So we've cut this front part and we are going to keep it. Now we have the side fronts. So when we look at the side front, we see that they are practically the same thing. So we just pick one. You see that they are practically the same thing, but they are not, because remember that at this part we came in by half of an inch and slant, and you notice that this one is straight. So don't make the mistake of cutting one to say it's for left and right. So I would come and I'll cut. I'll place this. I'll add my sewing allowances. So I'm adding a sewing allowance of 2 inches. I'll just follow the shape and then I'll cut. So I'll keep this together. You can, so I'll do the same thing for this. I'll mark my 2 inches and then I'll cut. So I'm done cutting the front. So now I want to cut the back. This was the front that I used to, the front print. Now this is the back print. The more reason why we do this is so you don't make a mistake. My cutting now is going to be directly on the back part of the fabric of the print. So I want to cut for this side and also for this side. So the next thing I'll do is to insert my zipper allowance. My zipper allowance is 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch straight down. Then I'll cut. So I would cut the other parts and I'll still insert my 1.5 inches sewing allowances. And I'll still cut out this place, this part for the back. And when I cut it out, I will still label it the neck, the shoulder, the armhole, and the down part. Then I'll cut it out. Then I'll continue cutting. So the back, the center backs, they are ready. And I will lay it aside. So for the side back, they are the same thing. So I will just pick one and use to cut the side back. Unlike the side front that are not the same. So this is the side front. I would add my sewing allowances of 2 inches, and then I'll blend it and cut. So with this, we are done cutting the fabrics. So what we are going to do now is to cut the lining. I'll put my hair stay, I'll cut the padding, and we'll go ahead to start sewing. On the next video, I'm going to teach how to couple all of this together. Please kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Bye. So